So I want to take your thought on the verdict that was given today. But before I go to that tangent, I really want to get to know something brief so that I can ask my question.
Okay.
So the petition was about this election.
Yeah.
So first of all, who did you vote for in this election? If you care to share.
Isn't it essentially?
I just want to know so that I ask my questions.
Okay, I voted for MPP, not for any reason, but because the NDC people, they were telling me to vote for like them. So like it was annoying me. That's why I voted for MPP. Nothing else. I don't.
So the verdict was in favor of MPP. So do you think that? Are you happy that the verdict went that direction? Or?
Yeah, I'm happy they won too because that was my first time voting, and then they won, so I was like happy. Yeah. At least my first time voting, and then my party won. Yes.
Okay, so the processes. Yeah. I don't know if you follow the processes, but what transpired? Most people were like, the NDC have no case at all, so they should not even gone. How do you?
I don't support the fact that they'll mention the winner and then they'll be at the back saying like the one that announced the winner didn't try, they didn't count well and all. Those things are not necessary. The thing is the person won, so let the person be. There'll be a next election year that they'll still partake in, so there's nothing they should debate on. They should just let it go. You get.
So thank you very much. I'll see you. So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, today was the verdict for the petition heard at the Supreme Court of Ghana.
Yeah, so
the court heard that the petitioner case had no merit and therefore it was dismissed. Okay. So, I want to pick your thoughts on what happened, the process.
Well, the process was actually very short compared to what happened, I think 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, probably, yeah. So, to some extent, I think we all knew what the verdict would be because it's happened before and it all went in favor of the people who were declared winners. So, I think, yes, some people had a little idea about where this is going to go, but I feel like, yes, the opposition people also had their valid reason for taking this matter to court, and it's the right thing. Other countries were also lucky to get something like that, and it ended on wars and stuff that destroyed the country's system. So it's a laudable thing that was done, and now that the verdict has been passed, I believe the best thing we all can do is just accept that the law of the land has spoken, and then right now the best thing we can do is let peace prevail and go about our normal duties. If they feel that they did win and then they were unfairly treated or the misinterpretation of the election results and all that, they can next 4 years they can try again, and then if they really did win, the people who voted for them will actually do that again. And with that one, hopefully, if all election protocols are observed and there's no corruption in there, administration of the election results or interpretation of the voting results, we can have the next deserving person to become president. So that's my 2 cents on this.
Thank you very much. Sure. So today the court gave the verdict on the petition that was filed, and I want to know your thoughts about the verdict that was.
Okay. Actually, I thought that it was fair because the applications or the evidence they brought were not enough proof. It was not enough proof, or it wasn't enough for them to use as basis. Okay, so that was why the case didn't go in their favor. It was ruled out. But how the court was throwing away the applications, it was obvious the case would be ruled out. Right? Yes. So, it's obvious they lost.
Alright, so good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Michael. Okay, so the court of has actually given its verdict on the petition filed by the NBC on the election that was held in 2020. Now, I'm just picking your thoughts on what you think about the verdict and whether or not the matter itself needed to end up in the court at all. So I would like to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay, first to begin with, I think the verdict today was valid. And also, the case shouldn't have been taken to court in the first place because looking at how the nation's resources and all the time spent in all these court cases and all the the insults that came along with this case, it wasn't even necessary in the first place. Looking at how we spent so much time in deciding a case that had already been valid by the EC, it shouldn't have even been sent to court in the first place. So I think it was a waste of time and we should have accepted what Honorable Jen Mensah brought out as the final verdict of the Electoral Commission.
Okay, so in sum, you are trying to say that the case did not end up in the Supreme Court. On which basis are you making that claim?
We as Ghanaians should actually rely on the credibility of the Electoral Commission because if the body wasn't trusted in the first place, it wouldn't have been selected as a ruling or a decision maker for political issues when it comes to voting and all that. Since we brought the Electoral Commission and it has been a significant part in the Constitution since 1992, I think we should value its credibility and give it, let's say, I don't know how to put this, but then we should respect what decisions the EC brings out.
Okay.
That's all.
I know the EC is being run by human beings, and these human beings have preference and they have leanings. So would you say that as soon as they occupy these positions, they are so credible and they are so genuine to the extent that they do not align to these. Moreover, they are being appointed by persons or people in government. So there's this idea that so far as the president or government appoints someone, the person tends to act in favor of the person. So are you saying that this does not apply to the EC chair?
Yeah, I would say yes, it doesn't apply to the EC chair because before you are appointed to the office of the Electoral Commission, you swear in. And the Electoral Commission is an independent body. They act on their own rules and order. It doesn't belong to a particular political party. So let's say since the EC had been appointed by the New Patriotic Party, it had to rule in favor of NPP. I remember, I can't state the actual year, but then when the previous EC was on, the ruling or the voting went in favor for our ex-president Mahama. Meanwhile, he was appointed by the opposing party. So I wouldn't say the EC rules in favor of the party that actually appoints the EC, but then it is an independent body and it takes decision fairly.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.